Please welcome back Jay Simons.
All right, we got to do that again. Can you do that again? Sorry. This should be off the stage. And I want
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jay Simons.
Thank you. So let me just say again that this is nuts. But for the next hour and a half, roughly, we're going to try to do 13 consecutive launches in 5 minutes. Here's how it's going to work. If you've got mobile phones or computers, get them open. You're going to need them. Up here on the screen, I'm going to show you how the voting works and just walk you through a sample. Okay, so basically, I want to know how the conference is going so far for everybody here. So what you'll do is to vote, you're going to text to 22333. Charges may apply. And what you'll text is the number that corresponds to how you're feeling. And these don't exactly line up, but number 5, or actually the question is, are you looking forward to the Launchpad event? So if you're shivering with anticipation, you will text 28683 to the number 22333. Or if it's a snoozer, down at the bottom, if you're not anticipating it, you'll text 28682. Awesome, there you go. So far, one person is shivering with anticipation. So there we go, come on. Actually, that one's okay. So this is how it's going to work. As you text, it's going to basically live record how the presenter's doing during their demo. Now, here's the thing. We felt it was a little bit uncouth to display this while they were presenting. So what we're going to do, you're going to have to pay attention, I'm sorry. What we're going to do is we're going to give you a minute to vote after the end of their 5-minute presentation. And I'm going to come up here and just explain again what to do. The number you'll vote will always be 22333. That's right, isn't it, John? It's always 22333. Perfect. Just the codes will change. So that's how it's going to work. So here are the rules. Each of these presenters is 5 minutes. And we're going to alternate podiums. We're going in alphabetical order. The winning team, gets tickets to Atlas Camp, which is our little developer event that we do that was mentioned earlier this morning. So they're playing for all the stakes, all the marbles. And we're going to start because we've got a lot to get through. But hopefully it's an exciting, flawless, close to 90 minutes. And then we're going to eat lunch together. All right, here we go. So first up is Adaptavist. Come up on stage. Keith from Adaptavist. So, Keith, when I say go, you have exactly 5 minutes, no pressure. And then you will be judged by a jury of your peers via SMS. So with that, countdown clock begins.
Turn this on? Oh.
It's on. Okay. Countdown clock begins now.
Okay, morning all. My name is Keith Brophy. I'm the Support Services Manager with Adaptavist. So please do let the fact that I'm going first subliminally influence your voting choices. So a little bit about Adaptavist. We've been working in the Atlassian ecosystem for about 5 years now. We offer various services to our clients, such as consultancy, support, and training. We're quite prolific in the area of plugin development. I'm quite sure a lot of you have used Theme Builder or Community Bubbles. We're really stoked to have a newspaper out for Summit. It's got some cool articles by our dev team, by our fellow partners, and there's some interesting stuff about our services as well. If you don't have one, come to our booth and have a chat with us. So on with the demo. So a common problem scenario is the Confluence admin gets a call that the wiki's running slow or it's unresponsive. And what can they do? There's various tools out there that can help you profile your application and see what's actually happening with it. But sometimes red tape or audit processes delay getting these tools installed. So our developers with the beards and caps, they thought about putting all that functionality into a plugin. And that's what we did. So we've got the Adaptavist Health Monitor plugin. It's basically like a stethoscope for your Confluence application. It'll show you how the application is running. So let's see what it looks like. So here we've got the Confluence dashboard, and we're looking at the health monitor here. So it gives you 4 windows into how the application is actually using the resources of your system. In the top left, we've got the CPU utilization, and you can see here it's graphing how the system's actually using your CPU. You can see here we can hover over various parts of the graph and see what it's looking like. So we're just under 2%, 1.5% on that. Down below that, we've got a graph of the classes currently in the application. It's about 15,000. You can never have too many classes. In the top right, we've got a graph of how the memory is being utilized by the system. And we've got that nice sawtooth pattern there, so it's all looking good. We can also choose what we want to see on that graph, so the committed or used memory. In the top left, we can then choose the type of memory that we display as well, non-heap or permgen and heap. So all this information is really useful if you might be encountering a kind of memory leak or something like that. Down below that, we graph out the threads that are running in the application. And again, we can choose what type of threads that we want to display in that graph, and it updates immediately. And we've also got further threading information on the thread tab. And this lists all the threads that are currently running in the system. And it shows useful information such as block time, CPU time, runtime. So it's really good if you have a potential deadlock. On the third tab, we've got the collection, and we've got counts and times. And this is useful, again, for possible memory leaks. So going back to the monitor, we can see the system is running along quite nicely. But I've decided that I want to install a new plugin. I'm a sucker for plugins. This one's ominously titled the Bad Plugin. But it has the CPU job, which I'm sure must boost my CPU performance. We've installed that. We've left the monitor running for a while, and we can see that we've had a massive spike in our CPU utilization. It's gone up to about 72% there, so obviously something's gone wrong. I can actually correlate the time when I installed the plugin with the graph here. You can see that's when the spike started, and I've since disabled it now, so the graph has gone back down to normal. But I can actually zoom in on this area and have a closer look at it to see what's going on. And you can see that there's a bit of a pattern forming there. That plugin was actually designed to do a CPU-intensive job for about 15 seconds and then pause for 5. So you can kind of see that. We can zoom in a little bit further and get that graph in a little bit more detail. So this information would be really useful if I could send this to my developers. So I can head over to the Snapshot tab. You can see here I can capture the data that we've just been looking at, and I've chosen to only capture the data in the zoomed in range. So that generates all that data in JSON format. I can copy this, send that to my developers, and they can upload it in their instance of Confluence and review the exact same information. So they've got the CPU, the memory, and all that threading information. So hopefully they can use that information to refine that plugin and get the CPU utilization down. So the health monitor basically is a tool directly inside Confluence, giving you a look at how it's actually utilizing all the system resources and hopefully avoid any spikes like this or excessive memory consumption. So we think it's a really powerful tool for your development team and for your Confluence sysadmins to see how things are going. I think I'm out of time.
Awesome, Keith. All right. While AppFire's coming up to get set up, here you go. 22333 is the text number. Let Keith have it. Remember, one of Atlassian's values is open company, no bullshit, so that it applies to all of the Launchpad participants. So far, so good. You've got a minute. I think it does, yeah. And remember, I think it's on. Remember that you're selecting the winners here. So throughout the 13, you're choosing the winners.
Test.
What is that the theme music to? Is that? No, that's right. A Millionaire. That's right. Okay. Awesome. Great job, Keith, from Adaptavist. So lock those results in, and we are now going to introduce participant number 2, the boys from AppFire. Are you ready to go?
Ready to
Take it down. I think these guys should only get 4 minutes, actually. So On your marks, get set, go.
What's up, Summit? All right. I know might be a little bit loud still. I know some people might be a little bit hungover from Firewater last night, so I apologize. Did everybody have fun at Firewater last night that was able to come? Well, I know we at AppFire certainly did, so everybody that came up, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Randall, and this is Matt, and we're from AppFire. And before we begin, I'd like to just thank Atlassian and all the other partners for making this event possible. So thank you. This morning, we're going to launch and announce Firestarter, the world's first portable wiki appliance. The Firestarter allows you to collaborate without boundaries using Atlassian's Confluence. So, without further ado.
Yeah. So the Firestarter comes pre-installed with Atlassian's Confluence Wiki. Let me go right into here. It comes pre-installed with Atlassian's Confluence Wiki. You can sync wiki pages, you can sync blog posts, comments, and attachments. You can sync from one Firestarter to another Firestarter. And you can sync from a Firestarter up to an enterprise wiki instance. So today we're going to be doing a quick demonstration of AppFire's Enterprise Sync plugin, which enables that syncing to the enterprise. I'm going to hand it over to Randall, who's going to be handling the demo up here, and I'm going to dive out into the crowd for a little bit of audience help.
All right, quick show of hands. Who wants a live demo versus a canned presentation? Live demo?
Randall, just do it live, man. Just do it live.
You guys are sick. All right, so we're going to get up here. So you can see I'm logged into my local Confluence instance. This is actually running on my Firestarter. It's running on the actual USB device plugged into my laptop. So you can also see that I only have one Confluence space defined, getting started. I'm going to go ahead and create a sync spot. And what a sync spot is it's an actual remote Confluence instance that we want to synchronize content to and from. So we'll go ahead and create a sync spot. I'm going to add one for the event. We'll call it Launchpad. We'll define the base URL. I'll go ahead and I'll pull content, and I'm going to select 7 days. I'll save it as a local sync spot so we can work with it in the future. And let's go ahead and synchronize some content. So I'll prepare to sync. It's going to ask me for my credentials. These credentials are on my remote Confluence instance. Again, I have my settings for 7 days. I'll proceed. It's authenticating with my remote Confluence instance, and it's displaying a list of spaces that I have access to. Those are all controlled by your administrator. I can see that I have a Launchpad space. That's the space I want to work with today. I'll go ahead and expand this. Shows me a list of pages that are available for synchronization. What's nice about this is I can actually preview one of those pages on the remote site. So that's a pretty nice looking page. I'm going to pull that down. And here we go with the demo gods. All right. We'll quit.
It's the fun of going live, everyone.
It's awesome. All right, so here we are. We'll go ahead and we'll synchronize content. I'm going to prepare the sync. Here's the pages. I'll go ahead and I'll sync this entire space. I'm going to pull the space down. Synchronization window will begin. It'll show you what we're working on and how long we're spending time. And actually, that was pretty quick. We pulled the entire space down. It actually re-indexed our local Confluence instance, so that space and content is actually available. We'll drill in and just validate that content. Here's our Firestarter feature page. Pretty sweet.
Awesome. So, good catch, Randall. And in the meantime, I've actually just synced up. If you want to test up here, give it a moment. We've just had some audience participation with another new page that we created. It says the sync is complete up here. Might take a moment. So we've already nailed one. So this is the icing.
And we actually don't re-index the enterprise side.
Got 1 second, if we...
Great. All done.
All right. We're finished again. Well, we got one. We got one live.
All right, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Let's get the voting up. Well done.
Thank
Here you go. 22333 is your number. Let AppFire know what you think of their demo. And we're going to bring and queue up Roberto. We've got 45 seconds left. Let him have it. 1 is yawn, 5 is excellent. $30 left. Keep those votes coming in. Hopefully you have unlimited SMS. And 10, 9, 8. Oh, I guess. There we go. You were building in the music buffer. All right, perfect. So here we go. Contestant number 3. Roberto, you ready?
Yes. About to be ready. Ready now.
You ready?
Yep.
Time begins now. Do it.
Okay, hi, I'm Roberto from Comala Tech. We're the creators of the Ad Hoc Workflows plugin for Conference, and I'm here to demonstrate the Workflows Exchange, a place where you guys can go and download workflows for Conference that are already there for you to play. But first, let me just give you a quick introduction of the plugin. So basically, since 2007, we've been providing Conference users with a solution so they can implement Conference, use Conference on areas that are subject to controls and regulations. With the plugin, you can create workflows having approvals and getting into a workflow and get it going, and to make sure that you get the content review before it gets published. Back in March, we just launched a version 3, and we introduced task management, and we're making it easier for people to create workflows. What we're doing is we are recording activity around task creation, manipulation, completion, and also allowing users to define the document lifecycle. What we're doing on the back is all the activity is recorded, and then later you can save it as a template. You can make some customizations, then you can save it as a template, so you can use it later when you work on a similar document, and then you just invoke the workflow, and it's ready for you to play. What we're introducing today is the Workflows Exchange, which is very similar to the plugins Exchange. So basically, it's a place where we have a bunch of workflows there for you to play. You can, they're organized on different categories. You select what you want, and you can also learn more about the workflows, basically. There are some tips there on the pages. We also want to make it a forum for people to discuss how they implement the workflow on the different domains. But let me start with an example how this works. So let's say I want to implement a workflow on my technical documentation space. So what I do is, as a space administrator, go to the repository, to the Workflows Exchange, and this is the one I like, and I'm going to import it. So it gets imported into my system. Now I want to enable it on my space. So I select and make it available, and that's it. So because I have already documents, I want all the documents to be considered as published. So there's a process of initialization, and that's it. All my documents are considered published, and now the people have access to the published version. Whenever I have modified an already published version, the state is going to change. In this case, it's going to for review. Then I have to, once it's completed, I have to approve it to get it to make it available, to make it published again. The same happens when you create a new page. When you create a new page, start all over again. The workflow start with a brand new workflow. Then you can start creating tasks and getting the content published. Let's take another example that is requirements management. So what I'm going to do, we have a workflow for that as well, right? So you have requirements. There's a workflow, the one that has been shown there. They have different data that has to be entered to ensure consistency and work in a similar way. So I go to the repository, select the one I want. I go to import and initialize it on the space. In this case, I'm going to associate this workflow to a label. So the label is going to be requirement. And that's it. All the documents, I also want to customize my categories. I have these categories for requirements, and I'm ready to go. So whenever I create a requirement, add the requirement label, the workflow is going to be there for me. So as you can see on the top, there is data and parameters that I have to define on my workflow. So I can define the category, priority, who's the owner of this requirement. All this is stored in the workflow itself, and the form itself is generated right there. So I can modify, create links, in this case, to the actors. And that's it. The workflow is there. The different states are there, so you can find the life cycle, right? You can submit, making it progress, complete, and getting it approved. Now, the way the workflows are built based on a markup, right? So once you import workflows, you can modify them. This is the neat thing, right? Because it's a repository. You find what you want, you can modify it. So in this case, I go to the editor, and I'm going to add a couple of tasks, right? So I come in the task, create mockups, and create the use cases. So whenever my page reaches that state, those tasks are going to be there for me just to assign. You can also use the markup to modify and to add more sophisticated rules. There's a lot of documentation for that. That's it. So basically, these are just two examples of the plugin, two examples of the workflows that are available. You can learn more. We're in booth number 5. You can learn more. There are movies. There are other examples. They're going to be available for you once you start the plugin. The workflows are already there for you to import. Thank you.
Awesome. Nice job, Roberto. Remind me to watch you in a game of speed dating. So here's Roberto. Excellent is up at the top. Yawner's down at the bottom. 22333. 45 seconds left. Keep those votes coming in. Give Roberto a chance. Look at that. Nice job, Roberto. Roberto's backstage stuffing the ballot box really quick. I should have said you can't vote for yourself, actually. That would. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, on me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. Up next, Contigix. You guys ready? You ready? All right. 5 minutes, go.
I am Craig McElroy, CTO and co-founder of Contigix, and that is our announcement. Basically, we do managed hosting services as well as cloud services here in the States, and as you can see very soon in Europe as well. as well as DR solutions for our customers who have their primary data center here in the States. Big thank you to Atlassian for this event. Really appreciate being here. Thank you, guys.
All right, voting for Craig. I'm personally excited, not to skew the votes, but I'm personally excited about that. So here we go. Vote on Contigix. 45 seconds left. There we go. Might have to text this one in. "25 seconds left. "10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, next up, we've got the team from Customware.
Yeah.
All right, 5 minutes, go.
Okay. Yeah, I might do it. Okay, hi guys. So everybody raise your hand if you want to hear another Australian accent. Yeah, thank you, good. Okay, so raise your hand if you want to see some cool stuff done with Atlassian products. And finally, raise your hand if you want a Customware green bee t-shirt. Yeah, a lot of people. All right, so you guys can email hr@customware.net. No, we're giving them away at our booth. So come over to our booth, check it out, and fill out a survey. We'll give you a t-shirt. Okay, so at Customware, we've done some really cool things with Atlassian products, and you've probably used some of these things. You know, you can see them on the screen there. We've actually done a lot of things, or as we say in Australia, we've done heaps and heaps of things with Atlassian products. So, you know, you probably find something there that you've used before. But what I want to talk about today, I'm very excited about, it's the Customware connector for Salesforce.com and Confluence. Basically, the problem that we're solving with this is that Salesforce is in the cloud, but you guys are in Confluence. So, you know, you're living in Confluence, you're using Confluence every day. Cloud technologies are great. It's great to have your information up there, but that's not where you live. So you guys are here, you're down with Confluence, your data's up in the cloud at Salesforce.com. What we want to do is we want to bring that data back down to where you are. So the connector essentially does this. It works really well. Just to have a quick look at it, so we did actually have a live demonstration, by the way, but we've learned that we're not going to do a live demonstration today. But I've got a couple of slides just to demonstrate what it looks like. We've got the information in Salesforce.com. It's very easy to set up. Install this plugin from the plugin repository. The information looks like this. You go in, you set up some very simple macros, enter the name of the contact that you want to bring in, and it looks like this in Confluence. The other thing you can do is you can bring in your accounts. So the first one was a contact. This one is an account. And you can also bring in cases. You can bring in really whatever information you want from Salesforce.com. And we're combining this with our reporting plugin. So a lot of you are probably using the reporting plugin. This is a free plugin. We combine that and we actually bring the information from Salesforce.com, put that into reporting, and then feed it into macros such as the charting macros. So you can build up dashboards from your information in Confluence, from your information in Salesforce.com, bring that down into Confluence. You can do a number of different things. So the demonstration that I was going to give for you is on our sandpit. Rob talked earlier about the greenhouse. If you go to customware.net, we've got a wiki repository, we've got a sandpit. You can actually start playing with this. We've got some sample data similar to what you can see there on the screen, and you can basically just have a go. We encourage you to look at it. And that's it. Thanks very much.
All right, let's get the votes up and hit the timer, Norm. Reset the timer, votes up. There we go, we got a minute. I'm gonna get the next presentation ready while you guys are voting. Got 30 seconds. It really is only 13 texts, 13 SMSs. You guys can count. It's ominous. Okay, so get the slides up. I'm actually going to start this one, and as soon as I hit play, Gliffy is going to grace the stage for their 5 minutes of fame.
Captain Jack! What's new with you, Captain Jack?
Well, I'm here looking for some treasure, but I can't seem to find any. Whatever will I do?
Ah, well, lucky for you, I made this here treasure map using Gliffy 3.0 for the... Yarr! Gliffy 3.0 has a bunch of new features, and I was able to do this with that fabulous new product. Yarr!
Ah, new features. Tell us more.
Ah, well, we've got the new template browser that allows you to pick from a wide range of diagrams to start from. We got the site maps. The site maps. Yarr, site maps. We have new flowchart shapes that look fantastic. Venn diagrams. There's some beauties in there, I tell ya. A new line tool and an XML import-export feature and some guideline tool as well. That makes it really easy to line up your shapes. That is the treasure trove of Gliffy 3.0. Yarr!
Yarg! We want more!
Well, as every good pirate knows, when you're using Gliffy, all you have to do is go to the Add Diagram link in Confluence, and you're able to insert a new diagram into Confluence. This launches you into the Gliffy editor, and this new template browser shows up. And we've created a bunch of templates for you to choose from to save you a bunch of time when you're creating diagrams. Yarr. Here's an ARG chart. Yarr. Here's some, look at these network diagrams. Yeah. We have UML class diagrams you can use as well. We have a few floor plans that you can pick from, and even some business process diagrams for you hardcore users. Or you can now pick a diagram you already created in Confluence as your template too, saving you a whole bunch of time. Yarr. Yeah.
That's beautiful for when you get started with drawing, but what about when you're actually using Gliffy?
Well, there's a bunch of new features in the editor as well. For example, we have the new grid line tool. So as you can see here, it's really easy to line up shapes. Notice the shapes snap together and show you the line, to show you that everything's lined up. And we totally redesigned the line tool. Remember before when you had a bunch of lines connected there and those scurvy red lines would go all over the place? No more. That's all been fixed. Happy to say. And we even have some new lines you can pick from. For example, there's a nice swervy line. Look at the tack on that line.
That's great. We're really excited about these drawing features, but I seem to remember a problem with Gliffy. When we would click the Back to Confluence button, my diagram didn't look so good from when I compared it to the published Gliffy.
Oh, that's been fixed. Now we have true WYSIWYG support. Yeah. So now when your diagram shows up in Confluence, it's pixel perfect.
Yarg!
So there you go, Jack. There you go. There's your new features in Gliffy 3.0.
Well, you sure have helped me, Pete. You've helped me find the treasure today, which is the newly released Gliffy 3.0.
Yarg!
Yarg! We're not done.
Are you done? Oh, you got one more? Are you done? All right, good. Arr, yeah. Chris, stick to the code. Let's get the votes up. That was almost as bad as my Australian accent. So the backstory here, thanks for the mic, is that in our setup to the presenters, one of the suggestions was, you could come on stage dressed as pirates and talk in a pirate accent. We thought no one would take us seriously, and they did. So up here we've got, there you go. Wow, well done. I think you were so successful you broke Flash, which isn't that hard. 5 minutes. You guys can set up quietly in the back. All right, here we go. New Relic starting now.
Hi, my name is Lou Cerny. I'm the founder and CEO of New Relic. That's an anagram, by the way. And it's a pleasure to be here. I can't believe it's 2010 and we still can't get projectors to work, but it's definitely a problem to be solved soon. We're in the business of monitoring web applications as they run in production. We actually have 4,500 customers live right now managing their web apps using our product, which is software as a service. You can literally get going in a couple minutes. And so our view of the world is that without adequate visibility, that code you write every day can be a big hairy mess when it runs in production. You have no idea what's going on, but you know it's ugly. How fast is it performing? What are you going to get it to do to make it go faster? And my wife will tell you that my chest is almost that hairy. And in fact, in order to compete with the pirates, I might have to do something to get some attention. But that isn't my chest. It's actually an actor you may have heard of, believe it or not. But with New Relic, you actually have visibility. You can see inside that live running application, and you can do it 24/7 with incredibly deep visibility. I'm going to show you a live demo of what I mean here. So that while developers can and should be spending almost all their time thinking about writing software, they got to remember that software is running in production, and there are humans using your software, and those humans want it to run fast and not have errors. And so what we've done and we're announcing today is an integration with Jira as well as Confluence that allows you to always have an eye on what your app's doing when it's live servicing end users. So let me show you what I mean with the demo. Okay. Hopefully this is a very familiar page for you. Log into Jira. And what we've got here is a real-time view of how a CMS app that is monitored with our system is running right now in a cloud environment in EC2. So we see things like response time, what percentage of the requests are erroneous, what the throughput of that app is. Any Java or Ruby web app gets this automatically. When you click on it, you drill into New Relic RPM. This is our software service you can get running in a couple minutes, as I said. And basically, we have a real-time view of how that app's performing. I'll look at the last hour just to show you that you can actually set your time windows quite easily. So we see the response time of the app broken down between how much time is spending called external services, the database inside the JVM itself. And then you can see that's the average response time. You can see the throughput, et cetera. You can see also interesting events like when the last deployment happened. You can see when errors spike or other alerts. And down here, you can actually see the machines that are running the app. I can, for example, chart response time or throughput or CPU by machine to identify problems there. But let's look into, we look at every web transaction passing through there, and we do it with very low overhead, less than 5%. So you run this all the time, and when something slow goes through the system, we can drill down and see exactly where it's spending its time. So here is a request that took 400 milliseconds, and if for your business that might be a slow transaction. And we'll break it out automatically, so we see that almost all of its time is spent on a select in this particular table. So why don't we look at the SQL statements and see what's going on here. It's actually making multiple queries into the same table. We see all the SQL. Oh, this one's particularly slow compared to the others. So there we go. We've got the explain pan, and we can actually get the stack trace when you want to, too. Incredibly deep visibility. Why don't we go back up to the high level and see how this app's doing from an overview perspective, just to show some of the other stuff we capture. We capture all the errors, and we aggregate them up. So we've had 44 class cast exceptions. So let's look at what's really going on here. We get the stack trace. If I want to tell somebody about it, I can email people and show and send them straight into New Relic to fix the problem. But some problems are actually so deep and thorny that you want to run a profiler on them. Who's ever tried to run a profiler in production? Bad idea. It's going to melt your machine, right? We've introduced the very first profiler you can run at less than 5% additional overhead, and you can turn it on and off whenever you want. So let me show you how easy that is to do. You basically pick a JVM you want to profile, you pick how long you want to run it for, and you're off to the races. I'm now profiling production JVM. Here's a profile that was captured a few days ago. Show you the kind of data that we can gather. We show exactly where all the time is being spent to the class and line level. Here we got some collapse methods here. Draw your eye to the code that's probably yours, and so we gray out the open source stuff so that you can immediately kind of focus on the code you have influence over. So that, given my 5-minute time window, I've got 19 seconds yet, so let me do the call to action, which is this. Sign up, free trial. Type in Atlassian 2010, and you're off to the races with 30 days of free gold. You will be up in 2 minutes, and you won't have a hairy chest app. Thanks very much.
Let's get the voting going for new Relic up. Minute starts now. I think Gliffy set the bar. The bar. Sorry. Ah, man. That was such a good. You got to get a couple of 5s for that joke at least. Feeling some pressure? You are? At least you're honest. All right. We'll take it 20 seconds. By the way, we specifically selected SMS because we didn't want to bring down the wireless network for those of you that don't have phones. But if you don't have a phone, I don't know. All right, here we go. Nice job, New Relic. All right, Cap IT, we've got all the niggles worked out. Yeah? Do you want a handheld mic or do you want to lean in? All right, 5 minutes.
Okay. Hello. So I'm Steve Kayla, product manager of ConfluenceFX, and I'm going to show you ConfluenceFX. So first, a little presentation of Cap IT. We're a French software and services company of 45 experts in Flex. Confluence integration since 2006. We're a bunch of techie people, and we use Confluence every day at work. About Cap Lab, it's our R&D department, and it represents about 25% of the company. And you can find all our products at on Cap Lab website at lab.capit.fr. So last year we presented you first beta version of ConfluenceFX. And today, after lots of user feedbacks and some 1,200 defects closed thanks to Jira, we are proud to present you this ConfluenceFX, and it's brand new desktop client with real-time capabilities. So let's see across some standard use cases how real-time collaboration is only one click away. So I apologize for my English. So I'm going to launch Confluence Desktop. Okay. Login. As you can see, the look and feel is fully customizable. Okay, so we have 4 modules. We have the search module, the activity reader, my favorites, and the people directory. I'll let you guess what they do by the name. So I'll begin with the activity reader. So we have what we have here is a live timeline of the activity stream on the wiki. Each element has have actions depending on the type of content and available in a contextual menu. So for my first use case, what if I want to add a comment on this page? I just click and add my comment. So it will be my comment and post it. So next we have a notification. This notification will appear anytime a content is updated in the wiki. Of course, if you can view the page, if you have the ability and the authorization. the timeline on the activity reader has also been updated with my new command, and only one click on it on my command. Let me show you how it works both ways. So I'm going to reply to this command. Well, it's the same user, but it will do the same with other users. So my reply, post it. Okay, same notification appears here. So back to my Confluence desktop. Now, what if I want to add the page of this command to my favorites? Well, first, I'll remove it from my favorites, and then add it. Okay, my favorites has instantly been updated with my new element. Now, what if I want to have information about the person who last edited this page? Okay, just click on the view profile, and then my people directory is, well, I'll show you. I can't move it. Sorry. Okay, my people directory is instantly updated to view to view information about this user. So now, what if I want to know what this user's been doing lately on the wiki? Just open my famous contextual menu and click on View Activity, and then my activity reader is instantly updated to only show information about this particular user. And I can, of course, filter by any type of content in the reader. Okay. Finally, I'm going to show you a last feature, last but not least. I'm going to take one file. I'm not used to Mac. And drag and drop it on my favorite. Okay. As simple as uploading a file. And I will get a notification when the file will be uploaded. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Start voting. I think you just sabotaged TaskDoc's demo, if that was the right presentation. Let's go voting. We've got 50 seconds left. Next on deck is Near Infinity, who will take first prize in the Steve Austin lookalike contest. You've heard Steve Austin before, you must have. All right. All right, 20 seconds. Decent votes, Cap IT. All right, here we go. Let's keep going. Near Infinity. You guys ready? See it? Go for it.
Hello, everybody. I'm Chris, and this is Caroline. We're from Near Infinity. We've got a product development arm called Nick Labs, and we're here to announce today the release of Mini Confluence Enterprise Edition. It's pretty simple. We have a plugin that gets installed in your Confluence instance, and it makes your Confluence content accessible to all of your mobile phone users. Many of you may remember last year we launched an iPhone app that we call Personal Edition that worked against the built-in remote API in Confluence. We've, in the last year, built our own custom plugin, and we're very happy to announce that any mobile phone user with a smartphone can access it. We still have a native iPhone client that's now available and free in the App Store. You look for it for Mini Confluence Enterprise Edition. But if you're running a BlackBerry, a Palm Pre, and Android, you can hit the same plugin, and you'll get a modified web view with a very similar look and feel. So we've got a short video that we want to play for you, but we've got a beta program that if you sign up in the next 30 days, you'll get a 3-month trial for free of the plugin, and then if you're part of the beta program and you choose to buy the product, you will get a 30% discount. So we're excited to have you join up. The product is now twice as fast as it was last year due to the custom plugin, so we're excited about some of the new features and want to show you that video.
All right, let's get started.
How do your employees take Confluence on the go? Now there's a better way to take Confluence on the go. It's Mini Confluence. It's the easiest, fastest way to use Confluence when you're away from the office. Mini Confluence is a mobile client for Atlassian's wiki, Confluence. Available since last year for individual sale through the App Store, Nick Labs has just added an Enterprise Edition. The Enterprise Edition simply requires organizations to purchase an easy-to-install plugin. Then any iPhone user in their company can download the Confluence app for free from Apple's App Store. Here are some of its cool features.
So you can easily navigate to the dashboard and view all the recent content. We even preserve the wiki markup so things look exactly as you would expect.
Navigate to the spaces and the pages and the blog posts within those spaces. The content that your employees care about the most, like the holiday schedule, is at their fingertips.
We even support rich content like PDFs, Word documents, and presentations.
So something you guys asked for last year that we are now supporting is landscape mode. So just turn your phone on the side and wide content like tables, views in landscape mode now.
One really cool feature that people asked for was the ability to sync with your favorites in Confluence. So now just select a favorite through the screen for any space, page, or person. You get a dashboard that's filtered for that content.
So we made it super simple to update your status or to post comments. All you do is just type it in and post it. Chris, I think even a CEO like you could do that.
And we now support multiple accounts on one instance, or through the phone, so you can connect to multiple instances of Confluence. Just create the account.
So next time your employees need to take critical Confluence content on the go, do you want them to be doing this? Or will they be doing this? Or maybe they'll be doing this. Some of them may even be doing this. Mini Confluence. It goes where you go.
So thanks again. Come to our booth. You can check out, remember, sign up for the beta program, and it works for Palm, Android, and BlackBerry phones now. Thanks.
Nice job. Let's get the votes up. So 5 is I want the iPhone app today. 1 is where's the iPad app? Where's the iPad app, guys? Is it coming? Oh, nice. All right. 45 seconds. Steph from Perforce, I think you're up. And we're going to maneuver a laptop while the voting goes on. You need to take this out, right? Take that. No, I got one on my head. 30 seconds. Look at the votes coming in. Oh, you gotta unscrew it. There you go. 10. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, nice job. All right, here we go. 5 minutes per force. Do it.
1 year ago, on a small island across the bay, it was a period of developer war. Rebel managers, along with a few developers striking from a hidden base, won their first victory against the evil empire. Waterfall. During the battle, The rebels managed to replace it with their new vision, Agile Scrum. Pursued by the Scrum Master, Bill Baffy, the sinister developers were now required to estimate their tasks. A recurring nightmare. Then the Agile rebels forced the recalcitrants to participate in retrospectives. Panic set in for the developers. They envisioned this as sanctioned and frequent blame fests. Had they crossed the river Styx? The developers needed a plan to survive. So our mantra became trust your gut, but get the facts and then adapt your strategy. But where do you get the facts? They went to the one place they knew held the truth. Their source code control, perforce. Now I'm going to share with you how I culled data out of the perforce database to help me with my retrospectives and my planning. So sometimes I come out of my sprints and my gut is telling me, oh my God, where have I been? I've been all over this code base. So what I do is I wrote a little Ruby script and I plug it into a program called Tree Map, and it gives me a visual display of the changes that I've done over time and in what directories it has affected. And I also can visually see which developer is responsible for those changes. So what can I do now? I can check out the scope patterns at a macro level, and I can decide if they were really narrowly focused or if they were very broad in range. I can identify possible bottlenecks if a bunch of the developers were cramming in on one particular directory, and then I'll know how to allocate the resources so that that one poor developer doesn't get creamed during their particular sprint, and we can spread it out. The next thing I've felt before, after doing the sprints, is that I spend a lot of time waiting and merging with other people's code. So this is a C# app that somebody wrote, and it shows the stories on the left with all the changes associated with it. And on the right, you see a flow diagram that shows how many times and where it was merged to in and out of the branches. And what this can help me with is it helps me anticipate collisions between a bunch of dev branches or release branches. It also helps me share the road with the other developers, and we can know if we should be putting stuff into the same dev branch, or if I'm really screwing everybody up because I'm destabilizing stuff, it might mean that I have to actually pull out my code into its own dev branch. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is I get that gut feeling that I spent all my time refactoring code and it was spaghetti, and everybody has dealt with this. So I'm going to use the new Eclipse Java, written in Java, time-lapse view. And this shows a visual graphic of the entire content of the file's history with the metadata associated with it. And what it's going to enable me to do is locate specific hotspots, how many times a particular method was refactored, where it was merged from, and who did it. It wasn't you. We know it's you because Perforce tells the truth. So next time you have to plan for your dreaded retrospectives and your estimates for those mean Scrum Masters, take a look at your source code control system, and I'm sure you'll be able to come up with some really good facts and wow your other fellow colleagues. If you're going to use Perforce, we've got a ton of different APIs that you can connect with, and yeah, all of that stuff that you just saw, which was actually pre-alpha stuff, was all written with one of these APIs. And thanks for letting me talk to you guys.
Nice job, Perforce. You're at least going to win the award for the most copyright violations for photographs. Didn't see a lot of attribution there. Stepstone's up. Are you... How much prep time do you need? Presentation is right here. We can see this laptop, you guys. We've got 30 seconds.
Yes.
Okay, we got the laptop, so you can go ahead and hit play. Yeah, there we go. All right, 10 seconds. We got 3 left. I know you're hungry. All right. So, without further ado, Stepstone, 5 minutes on the clock. Go.
All right, hi, I'm Daryl Duke. You've all met Confluence. Today, Stepstone is introducing Zen Foundation. Zen Foundation is a revolutionary new way to look at Confluence. Zen Foundation makes Confluence what you've always wanted it to be, attractive and easy to use for all users, even non-technical communities. Of course, out of the box, as you'd expect, there's a simplified toolbar with well-thought-out, easy to navigate and intuitive menus. We also have 3 great color schemes out of the box. We call them brands. To change the color scheme, you just pick one. Customizing your brand is easy too. We just tweak a few properties in a file, add graphics, and stir. These designs are made with Zen Foundation, just changing properties and images. With that, you can rock your wiki. Zen Foundation also offers a rich set of layouts. You can switch them up on a space-to-space basis or even page-to-page. There's single column. We get 2 column layouts. Personally, I like the skinny column on the right. And of course, 3 columns are great for complex layouts like home pages or other dashboard type things. With Zen Foundation, you can also control the display of comments, labels, page data, and even adding extra content through what we call trim levels. What happens when you're on the road and your laptop screen is small and you get tired of scrolling? No problem. Zen Foundation can handle that. When you go home and you've got your giant screen TV or your giant screen monitor and you want to spread it out, so can Zen. If you have that one page with a huge org chart or the monster spreadsheet on there, Zen Foundation lets you break out of the design when you need to. And Zen lets you browse blogs naturally and beautifully with a clean blog summary. We have the ability to page through posts, of course. Use the calendar for time travel, and no more ending up behind the scenes in the steam tunnels of the space admin. You'll vote WordPress off the island. And not just consuming content, Zen makes participation a snap with a simple edit wizard. Here we can change the content in this top block, click the pencil, make a few edits. And finally, real previews in Confluence. All areas are edited the same way, even menus. They're just lists of links. Here we can change customer support to help desk. Preview. There we are. Also, Zen simplifies what new users struggle with most: links, attachments, images. We can add an image to this heading. Scroll through to find the page you want. Navigate down to the attachment you want. And with a click, we can embed the wiki markup for you. And previews are as flexible as you need them to be. You can do multiple blocks on one page. You can do multiple pages as well. So you're free to experiment in private. No more wiki errors being published to the world before you're ready. Of course, you can discard your changes or polish them as much as you need to, and when you're ready, they get published with a single click, and now the world can see them. Yes, Toto, we're still in Confluence. Why would we want to go anywhere else? Zen Foundation will be available this July, but in the meantime, stop by our booth, enter to win a free Zen Foundation license, get a t-shirt, and find out how we can give you back your money for your summit registration. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Thanks.
Nice job, Stepstone. Let's get the votes up. That was gorgeous. So, 45 seconds. We've got 2 more. Then we break for lunch. Uh-oh, what happened? We've got to get Stepstone voting. Technical glitch. All right, there we go. We'll put 45 seconds back on the clock. Flash. By the way, Rock Band competition is closed. So we've got 2 randomly selected customer teams who will lose tonight. You don't have a chance. Let's go 10 seconds. Pretty decent vote, Stepstone. Nice job. All right, final 2. Tastock, you ready? Do you want to handicap yourself and only do it in 3?
No, we'll do that.
All right. Here we go. 5 minutes. Go for it, Eric.
I might ask that after the live demo. So thank you guys for being here. My name is Eric Eccles. I'm one of the co-founders of Tastock. I say, are a good example of some of the opportunity with the ecosystem here as Ben and I attended last year as attendees here. And now, a year later, we're a silver sponsor with customers across the globe. And that really is only possible through an ecosystem like this. And so, to get started, I want to quickly explain what Tastock is. So what Tastock does is lets you message people from within the wiki and really redefine how you can work. So where normally you'd go towards email, you can now quickly message somebody, assign a Confluence-specific action like commenting or editing, search across users, assign it, and go. People receive the emails. They also, with their dashboard, get the message. They can see the context of the action that needs to be done. They can see what pages the content needs to be worked on. And then lastly, who it is and when it was last updated. Very similar to your inbox. Now, over this year, we've added things such as recurring tasks for doing a lot of repeatable actions. We've added a Jira integration, which I'll show in a minute. And then, furthermore, we've integrated with the existing so you can do both single assignee, multiple assignees, and resolve against groups in Confluence. So one of the other features which has been fun is our email notifications. So you can see here we actually publish paid content through the emails. And if I want to comment on this, I simply reply to the email. When I do that, I can say in this case for the spec that it looks great. I return back to the Confluence page as we do a refresh, and you'll see that the comment shows up in line. Now, one of the benefits of this is you're working your BlackBerry and your iPhone, you can actually reply to comments through there. The next thing we introduced was iCal. And so with ICS, you can actually come in and set reminders for yourself instead of getting the barrage of emails over the time. And so what I'm going to do now, as we move into this, is look at the different things you do in Confluence. So today, we let you assign things like a general task, commenting, adding a page, updating a page. And one of the things we realized people wanted was the ability to get them defined by you. So I actually schedule meetings, I review a spec, I update a mock. Those are all things that are going on every day in my wiki. And so what I'm going to do is show you a quick demo of the live instance we have here. I'm going to say 2 things, actually. I'm going to first go in and introduce a new feature, a customized tab type. So our friends at Atlassian are very good at doing rants in their wiki. So I want somebody to start a rant. And this, obviously, is a comment. Go ahead and create that. I go into here, add a task, and this new task type is available as a comment. Come in here, I'm going to assign this to BR. It's Benjamin. Yes. Go ahead and ask what my thoughts are. Do it today. Now, as I mentioned with Jira, we can actually go into different Jira projects and fix version. For here, we have a Summit demo that I'll do. Go ahead and save this. After that's created, I now go over to Ben, where he's got his Summit demo. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. You'll see their API, which is connected, already has updated this task into Jira, since that's where he's living for his task queue. I click onto that task, click into Confluence through that, and I'm taken directly to the page where content needs to be done. Start the action. Go in there, I can actually see the page, look through the different items I needed to go, and then enter my rant. Post that. We, as you see here, notify or realize the person has done the comment, put in the context of why it was there. If I come back to the page, I can actually go through, see the linked issue in Jira, and see it's been closed there as well. So that's an example of two of the things we're introducing here. Is one, the idea that people do very customized actions in their Confluence, and now you can actually customize to that. And then second, a big thing is everybody's talking in different languages, and so we've just finished our internationalization, and we'll have that available here by the end of the month. So real quick, we've got two other team members here, Benjamin and Patrick, so if you guys have questions throughout the summit, definitely stop by. Thank you guys very much.
Sexy. All right, vote on TaskDoc. If you like that, give them a 10865 at the top or a 10838 if you didn't. Voting's commenced. We're going to get TM software up for the final demo. No. Let's get you over here. No whammies. Here, take this mic. Got 15 seconds. We're good. We need another mic. All right. Great job, TaskDoc.
Hot stuff, folks. Don't try this at home.
Yeah. Well, this version of Tempo is so big that we gave it a code name, Volcanic. But the best way to demonstrate Tempo is with example. So we created a company called Green Cloud, and we're going to follow through 3 employees for a month period. Some tough guys there. This is the way it works when you use Tempo. Everybody really happy. Okay, first up is Bob Johnson. Bob Johnson is, I think 75% of Tempo users are Bob Johnsons, and he just needs to get his timesheet done every month. So he has an easy way to do that with Tempo. It integrates nicely with Jira and also with the action. You can action directly on an issue in the timesheet, and takes you back to the Tempo timesheet. It has multiple views, as you can see on the top. It also shows you where you are currently, all the steps throughout the month. So, as you can see, we're not going to go through the whole month with Bob Johnson, but what we want to demonstrate is just how easy it is. And actually, Bob Johnson is quite happy because he doesn't really realize he's doing his timesheet. He's just working within Jira, and that's the whole plot, the whole reason we did Tempo. So he goes day from day and day in, and the month goes on. And at the end of the month, guess what? time's up to submit his timesheet. And that's simple, so he needs to get approval.
Quick and easy.
Yeah, that's it.
Should we meet Erika?
Yeah, well, now it's pending on manager. So as you can see, the workflow status did change there. So over to his boss. Yeah, you. Yeah. So let's meet Erika Jefferson. Erika Jefferson is into Agile. So with this version, we have actually integrated with Greenhopper, with our version report. So you can jump directly into Greenhopper and back from Greenhopper to our version report. But there's more. In Tempo, like Erika, she likes to look at details, about the time tracking for individual sprints or versions. But Erika also has access to her team timesheet. Within the timesheet, she can approve submitted timesheets. And she does that pretty easily, just approve. Or she can go deeper and look into the detailed report for each employee before she approves it. And with those reports, it's all inline editable. You can edit comments, text, you can move and split, and do all kinds of tricks there. It's quite efficient for administration.
She should get a raise.
Yeah, definitely. So now everything is approved, and over to Erika's boss.
Especially with that jump.
Yeah. So that's John Steele, tough guy.
Soft shell.
Yeah. Well, what he wants to check out when he gets to work is basically look at the teams, the timesheets for all of the different teams that are in Jira. So he has access to that. So he looks at Bob Johnson's team and see all other timesheets have been approved. He's in charge of billing, so he goes to the billing timesheet. And within the billing timesheet, you can see different accounts that he's responsible for. So he can open up one of those, and he can approve those accounts or those billing reports. He can take a quicker look or into the details, edit those, and approve. That's all he has to do. Pretty simple. So now everything is approved, and good job for John Steele. Thank you for listening and watching, and I hope you try out Tempo.
Check your back insert for the volcano ice boxes. There's a prize in it. You might want a t-shirt and stop by our booth. Thanks.
All right, last voting. Minute's already started. 22333 is the number. You guys know the drill. Good so far. Nice. $15 seconds. $5. All right, let's get those tallied. It's almost instantaneous. First of all, I want to thank all of the participants. That was hard. Took a lot of preparation, and I think it's great that we've got so many exciting products to launch. Believe it or not, we could have done this with 30. We had to cull it down to 13. But also I want to thank you for going on the adventure with us. Sorry about the snaggles. That wasn't nearly as bad as the lightning talks last year, am I right? Yeah? All right, good. Good. All right, thanks. So we're gonna do one runner-up and then announce the winner. And I think the runner-up slide, put it on there. Tell me who it is. The runner-up is Near Infinity. Near Infinity. Nice job. Nice job. That was Confluence on the Go, the iPhone app, soon to be released iPad app. All right. Oh, BlackBerry too. Awesome. All right, let's go into the winner. And the winner of the first ever Launchpad competition is Gliffy. Nice theatricality. Gliffy, come up on stage. Come on, come on. Get up here. Let's get a picture. Let's get a picture. Let's get a picture. Let's get a picture. Oh, you guys, great job, you guys. Ready? Yar for the camera. 1, 2, 3. Yar! All right, awesome. Thank you.